So Squarejunk number 1 stopped working the other day. And in an effort to figure out why I couldn't keep it running, pulled the distributor cap off, and I found out that the middle of the distributor cap had melted, okay? Melted. Not supposed to look like that where the rotor goes. So I grabbed another distributor that I had laying around, grabbed the cap, the coil, the full assembly, HEI, coil and cap, put it on, went to start it, and it ran. It ran for a while, and it started losing power and trying to stall. It stalled, didn't ever start again. Go out to it every once in a while, and this is what I get. Also, this is what happens when your truck starts acting up and you don't have time to look at it. It becomes a storage facility for extra supplies and tools and a notebook. Turn the key on. Just cranks, doesn't do anything. You can pump it, you can do anything you want. So we need to see if the coil is even energizing. Simple stuff. And to check the condition of the coil, well, the condition of the power circuit for the coil, I could use the multimeter, but I'm gonna go a little simpler, a little more simple, a little more basic. I'm gonna use this little guy. So basically, I'm gonna turn it on, and it's just gonna show me if there's voltage, up to what range there's voltage. And it's auto detecting 12 or 110. Oh, it goes up to 240. Isn't that nice? Let's see what happens. Okay, first test. Turn it on. Okay, it's on. See? Power. All right. Clip it. I'm gonna clip it right here for visibility purposes. Touch the positive to the positive. And the negative. I'm gonna do this all one-handed. Negative to the negative. Positive. I wonder where the dog went. Found him. Hey, let's go work on the truck. Come on. Come on, kid. Turn this back on. Okay, one hand. Positive. Positive. Negative. There you go. See? 12 volts. Goes up to 12 when I take it off. See on the left, 12 volts, wonderful. All right, now let's test the distributor. Not getting very good penetration here, so there we go. Unleash the spike. All right, here is the positive for the distributor. This powers the coil. Makes all the magic happen. We'll go ahead and poke that in there. And then I'll go turn the key on. And let me know if it lights up. Okay, you just watch that. Key on, key off, key on, key off. Okay, so we do not have power at the distributor. Where is dog? hear him. There he is. All right, so we'll go down here. Oh, hey there, extra wires. Fuse panel, Squarejunk fuse panel underneath the dashboard. Okay, so there's, let's see, power is right here. That's our power fuse. So this should be ignition power, accessory power, because right below it, you can almost see, like, if you move the fuse, let's see. Well, you can't really see it, but this accessory that they have plugged in, whatever the heck that is, it moves when you move this because they're on the same circuit. So anyway, let's see what we got. Oh, we have needle nose blocking the middle of the fuse. There we go. You move the needle nose and it unveils the fact that we have a blown ignition fuse. Why? I don't know. But it could have had something to do with that melted distributor cap. Let's get a new one. Okay, we got a new 15 amp fuse. We'll go ahead and poke that in there. Come on, poke. Get in there. Okay, new fuse installed. Pump it a couple times. Oh, right. Let's go hook that accessory wire back up to the distributor. Good thinking. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, don't need to test that anymore. Well, I mean, we could. Should we test it? Let's test it. Let's see. Let's verify that we did something. All right, that's what we'll do. Grounded to intake. Wonderful. Now, let's turn it on. Okay, power on. Oh, look. Grounded to intake. Take the ground off. Put the ground on. We have power now because I have the key on. So let's try to start it. Plug our power wire back in. Okay. Distributor is now energized. Come back into the storage facility. Nothing. Okay, we have no luck with it starting. Chances are it's probably flooded because, like I said, I've been trying to start this thing for the past week randomly without checking anything. So let's see if we have flooded spark plugs. Soaking wet and shiny. So engine is flooded now. So now I got to take all the plugs. We have to take all these plugs out and we got to dry them all up, clean them off, put them back in. Hopefully they're not saturated down into the porcelain. Really should replace the plugs, but we're not going to do that right now. Go ahead and rinse that little guy off. Hit it with a wire brush a little bit. They look like almost brand new plugs. Don't want this shit on my hands. Let's get gloves. Okay, wipe that off. All right. I mean, that should fire now. I mean, realistically, it may not fire now, but it has its best chance of firing, so we're gonna stick with that. So let's go take the rest of them out, dry them all off, clean them up, put them back in, I should really check the gap on these, but I'm not going to right now because I don't know what I'm doing with that engine yet. Let's see how she runs first before I start going all wild, because I'm going to get new plugs and, you know, let's get back to work. When you're tightening your spark plugs in, you don't need to tighten them all wild and crazy and lean on them and try to strip the threads, because they've got a seat to them. Well, after like the 50s or so, 60s, because, you know, they used to use washers that kind of crushed and created a seal. Well, anyway, we're not talking about that. So they've got a seat to them. So all they really need to do, where is that thing? Where is it? All you really need, okay, so right there, we're bottomed out, okay, right? We're bottomed out. So now, watch the S for snap-on, okay? That's all I'm doing. That's it. I felt the end, I made contact, and then I just gave it a little bit just to push it into that seat. Leave it alone. It'll be fine. It's not gonna go anywhere. It's gonna love it. It's gonna love it a lot more than over tightening it. Put the spark plug wire back on. It's good practice to do this one at a time. Simply because you have a firing order. They fire in a special order. This one is gonna be, starts right here. 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, and 2. Okay, so that's fine if you know where it starts from. People take this stuff apart, they put it back together, they don't put things together properly, and rotors are facing wrong directions, teeth aren't lined up, blah, 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 blah. So what happens is, number one could be here, could be here. It doesn't matter where it starts from. All that matters is wherever it starts from, it's in the proper order going around, and it's timed properly to ignite at the right moment. So if you go and start yanking all your wires off, as you can see, they just kind of like go somewhere and then they appear up here. Then you got to figure out, okay, well, I started here at 1, then you got to, like, you know, and carry the 2 and divide by 6, just one at a time. Boop. Switch it, clean it, put it back in, plug it back in, go to the next one. Take it out, clean it, you get the point. Okay, last spark plug wire is on. All plugs have been cleaned. Now let's see if we get a little more activity. Key on. Still have our fuse. Nothing. I'll try pumping the gas one time. Nothing. Just nothing. Okay, so now I will take a random spark plug out again. Let's take a look at it. It's soaking wet again. Focus, stupid. Soaking wet again, okay. We are flooding. I'm gonna rinse the spark plug off. Then we're gonna ground it, hook it up to the wire, crank the engine over, and look for a spark. Let's try that. All right, so it's all rinsed off and dried. Here's our wire. We will hook it back together. Make sure it clicks. All right, there's our electrode. So the way this operates is electricity is sent through the center of it down to that electrode that sticks out. This metal body is grounded when you screw it in to the engine block. And every time the signal is sent down here, it creates a spark and it dumps the signal from the positive to the negative. So we should be looking for a blue spark on there. In order to do that properly, we're going to need a good grounding point. So let's go ahead and just shine up a nice spot on the frame there to ground from. And we'll take our spark plug and we'll just let it, we'll figure out a way that we can let it just sit here. Come on, you gotta just work with me a little bit. A little cooperation would be greatly appreciated. Okay, spark plug. Okay, spark plug finally found a spot that it's comfortable. So now the camera needs to find a spot where it's comfortable so you can watch when I crank the engine over and see, hey, you stop it, and see if you get a spark in between those points. That thing's gonna keep moving, so let's move it back real quick. All right, so the spark plug is situated, the phone is balanced. Let's look for a spark. Did you see a spark? Let's look back on the video. Okay, so now I got a nice side view. Let's try this one more time. I zoomed in, watch for a spark. All right, so you saw it with your own eyes. No spark, nothing happening. That spark plug is off. So there's a reason why it's not sparking. That's what we got to find out now. So what we'll do is we will pull this distributor cap off and check out all the contacts inside. And I don't really have a way right now to test that coil. I mean, it's getting power. It's probably grounded. We could take the meter out. We could check ground to the distributor base. Let's go ahead and just look inside there because I did just replace that. I did just take that off of another distributor that was in another truck. So let's look inside there. Pulled the distributor cap off. I looked under there at the rotor. Yeah, rotor's in rough shape, but it's making contact. So I know the rotor looks really bad, but that's the same rotor that was attacked by the melting distributor cap that you saw earlier in the video. So when I threw the new cap on there initially, and I gotta remember, this truck did run. I put the new cap on. It wasn't a new cap. It was an old cap. It was a used cap. It was a cap that was in nice shape, but it was not new. I said new. It wasn't new. I fired it up and ran for a little while, shut down. Now we've got all this going on. But it did run with that cap, with the dirty rotor. Anyway, back to the video that's from before. There's continuity to the end of it. It could be the ignition control module below the rotor. It could be the rotor. It could be a lot of things. But I'm going to save that for another time because we know that we have a no spark issue now. We know that we did not have electricity going to the coil. Could be the coil. We had no electricity going to the coil. We have electricity now. We have not blown the fuse again. We checked every spark plug. They were flooding. We cleaned them. We check for spark. We don't have spark. So now we will deal with that distributor issue a little bit later. Got too many other things to do today.